What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and it would appear that the comic book industry is refusing to do anything to stop themselves from hurling into obscurity and complete and utter disaster. When most comic book shops have been forced to shut down with everything going on out there in the world, when comic book shops are going bankrupt, distributors running out of money, new books getting put on delay, a wide variety, a downward trend in overall quality, a reliance on quantity and multiple variant covers in order to get their sales numbers over the past few years, a bevy of repeated terrible decisions by everyone from the very top of Marvel and DC right down to local comic book shop owners who decide that it's more important that their customers agree with them politically than having their checks clear. I suppose that's a dated reference. I'm not sure anyone uses checks anymore, but you get what I mean. So enter a independent comic book creator space, Comicsgate, so to speak. I've had my issues with certain creators in that space, but have always backed the movement. I have always supported individuals going out and doing their own thing. After all, it's all that's left. If you're waiting for Marvel to put out good books, you're going to be waiting forever. They're more worried about putting out their woke trash comics that we can all point and laugh at than appeasing their customers. And so independent comic book creators, as well as large creators, well-known creators, people like Ethan Van Sciver or John Malin, have moved out to independent comic books to independently fulfill, design, and interact with their customers directly. And it's been a great success. Some of these creators have seen seven-figure earnings on a particular brand and have varying levels of success. Well, ultimately, one of the last things comic book artists actually need are people to print the books. And a beloved creator in the comic book space known as Cecil has had his variant cover removed by Dynamite Comics, a company that promoted his Indiegogo. Why? Because of an outrage mob of nobodies. We see Dynamite Comic putting out a statement saying, "In speaking with Cecil, neither one of us realized the cover would be so polarizing. We discussed and are not moving forward with the cover of this campaign. Nick Barucci, CEO, publisher of Dynamite, also moron." You can see some of the top replies, obviously getting completely ratio. Nerdrotic, excellent channel, saying, "All-time bad decision. There is no more, quote, top talent in the industry worth losing this many customers over. Next, they will come after you for Vampirella and Deja Thoris Look. The boys' violence or toxic masculinity, it will never end until you say no." Then you see Pitmaster Broda putting together a nice video roasting them. You can see this is the company that bent the knee to a trademark troll and gave up creative control over public domain characters that were created 100 years ago and change. Yeah, they've always been spineless. Here's Data Racer. Excellent follow on Twitter. "Do not cave to these dorks. Cecil has done nothing wrong. Just reading their utter meltdowns over the weekend should tell you that they aren't rational, functional adults. They will continue to bully you until you say no. They act like children. Treat them like children." These people parade as adults, I guess, and get and don't have any money. They don't have any money to buy books, so they spend all day on Twitter trying to whine and complain about other books. Here's Doomcock from Overlord DVD. "Wow, way to alienate not only a great comic book creator, but all of his fans. And for what? To placate a bunch of whiny crybabies who can't tolerate any challenge to their worldviews. Holy poo. Way to stand for creative freedom, you wangless weasels." And it goes on and on. That Umbrella Guy. "Interesting. Now you can join companies like IDW in bending the knee, hemorrhaging cash almost $80 million in 3 years, and taking PPP loans to survive, instead of collecting that $200K you would have made off the audience you said you don't need." This is exactly why comic books are dying, but they won't go forever. And you see this. I hate Comicsgate, and I buy Vampirella, or I did before this. These are my two favorite books, and I have a whole set for the earlier year for Zenescope Comic. I love good-looking women. I just don't like hate groups and bland stories where the women have no personality. Okay. I mean, what is this? You can see this is obviously covered by Bounding into Comics. Dynamite Comics announced it would no longer be publishing Cecil's big cover, a variant cover for upcoming Vengeance of Vampirella #1, series by Tom Sagowski and artist Michael Stay Maria. The comic book publisher had recently announced the variant cover and launched an Indiegogo campaign on July 17th. At the time of writing the book, it had raised $9,140. Campaign canceled. Like, you're joking, right? So here's a look at the full cover. What's even wrong with this? Good-looking women? Are you going to say that women don't look like this? Because they absolutely do. Are you going to say Cecil doesn't look like this? He absolutely does. So what do you have against this cover? There's literally nothing offensive about this except for maybe how skinny his back leg is. Dynamite Comics made the announcement that the project was canceled on Twitter with a quote from publisher CEO Nick, just call him Dickless apparently. On the Indiegogo campaign, they also provided an update. We've discussed with Cecil and no longer moving forward with the campaign. All current orders will be canceled or refunded. The cancellation comes after a social media campaign involving a number of current and former Dynamite Comics freelancers, including loser Gail Simone and loser Mark Russell. However, the social media backlash against Dynamite Comics appeared to have started by Black creator Kwanzaa Osayefo. I don't know how you pronounce that. He's also a moron. His book is bad. He is bad. He took to Twitter to call out everyone in the comic books industry following Dynamite Comics' promotion of the Indiegogo campaign on Twitter. He wrote, "I'm only saying this once. Everyone in the hashtag comics industry who been knew that Dynamite Entertainment is supporting Comicsgate needs to stop with the back channel blind eye fence sitting BS because of associations with Nick Barucci or checks from the publisher." These are from people that don't have any money, by the way. These are all people that are jobless, fanless, goalless. By the way, I want to take this moment. Today alone, I've covered video games, I've covered Johnny Depp, I've covered some Twitch stuff, I've covered a wide variety of things. I hope that this will be the video. I earn your subscription. There's a little red subscribe button down below. Maybe you were subscribed before or you haven't yet. I hope today will be the day I earn that subscription. I cover what you ask me to each and every morning if you follow me on Twitter at The Quartering, and I'm here to work for you. It makes finding my videos easier, obviously, and it helps YouTube know that people actually want to see my videos. He then accused unnamed individuals of harassing and threatening individuals without providing any evidence. Shocking. He wrote, "The women, BIPOC, and LGBTQIA in comics who they target don't get to choose. We've been harassed, threatened, and doxxed." Yeah, no evidence of that, of course, provided. He also continued his tweet thread and returned to targeting comic book professionals for their silence. That's right. The industry's crumbling around you. Good idea to keep the infighting going. He wrote, "Which is too many y'all being mad, quiet, acting funny, and confused. Some think it's about effing politics. Others have a project with Dynamite, so they don't want to mess up with your money. Some of y'all secretly agree with these scumbags. So, you've never sold any amount of books that's notable. I could literally photocopy, I could photocopy my butt and put it in a book and sell more copies than you've ever sold. All right, so why do you think your opinion is important?" He then accused Dynamite CEO and publisher Nick Barucci of working to legitimize a hate group. "Y'all making effing declarations to not be predators, blacking out your profile pics, but too many of you know for a fact that Nick is working to legitimize a hate group." I only see one person spreading hate here, and it's actually Kwanzaa. and people like Gail Simone, spreading hate, bullying people online. Now, ultimately, Dynamite is the big coward in all this. We all knew Kwanzaa as a child. We all knew people like Gail Simone is a do-nothing, forgettable has-been. But Dynamite in all this is the true loser, because you're gonna print Kwanzaa's 11 books? Is that what you're gonna get out of this? Gail saying, here's the thing, I'm not being silent for career reasons. I'm not being silent at all. I'm just taking a minute to process something that personally very disappointing and sad. I'm not doing that on your timer. Don't know what to say. I mean, what is this? These people are irrelevant. As I write this, I'm finished working on Red Sony number 24, which concludes my contractual obligations to Dynamite, after which I will no longer be accepting further work for Dynamite as long as they continue any affiliation whatsoever with Comicsgate. Fine, see ya. See, that's the thing. These bullies and losers, why? Because they printed Cecil's cover? So? Dynamite Entertainment, you should be ashamed of yourself. And honestly, anybody out there who's considering buying a book with their name on it needs to not only decide to not buy that, but point out to them. Send them a picture of all the stuff you've bought from them and tell them that today will be the last day they see a dime of yours. Pathetic cowards. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.